The Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 meeting of the Eden Prairie City Council is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm in my 29th year serving on the Eden Prairie City Council, and this is only the second time in 29 years that I've been at a city council meeting on April 1st. The first time ever that I've actually gavelled the meeting to open. You can probably find out offline why I know that. It does seem rather obscure. It's typical during this time of the meeting for me to read an open podium invitation. Open podium is an opportunity for Eden Prairie residents to address the City Council on issues related to Eden Prairie City government prior to each council meeting. These council meetings typically occur the first and third Tuesday of each month. The open podiums occur from 6:30 to 6:55 here in the council chamber. If you wish to speak at open podium, please do contact the city manager's office at the phone number 952-949-8412 by noon of the meeting date with your name, your phone number, and subject matter so we can be better prepared for you. Open podium is not recorded or televised. If you have questions about open podium, please do contact the city manager's office. Mr. Getchell, we have a proclamation this evening. I'll throw it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Approximately 5 years before you were born on April 1st, Senior Community Services came to be. Senior Community Services is celebrating their 75th anniversary on April 1st with a proclamation. So, Mayor, they are an organization that the city partners with on a lot of different programs. In fact, you may remember at our last council meeting, the city provided some community development block grant funds, as we've done for a few decades, to senior community services. But I want them to be able to explain, because I know they're going to talk, and there's quite a good-sized contingency here of the group about what they've been doing for 75 years. But prior to that,
Not all of them will be sharing that. I just have to
yeah.
throw that in.
A few of them, Mayor. But before they speak and they come up to receive the proclamation, you have a proclamation to read, and then following that, there may be some words from the organization. But we are very, very happy to see that they're celebrating 75 years in service.
Absolutely. So I will read the proclamation, and then I'll come down, and all of you can get up and join me, and I'll present the proclamation in a framed format for you. Proclamation, City of Eden Prairie, Hennepin County, Minnesota. Senior Community Services 75th anniversary. Whereas Senior Community Services was founded in 1950 and has served the community for 75 remarkable years, and whereas the organization has grown to serve thousands of seniors and caregivers annually, making it one of Minnesota's top nonprofits in the field of aging, and whereas Senior Community Services embodies the vision to, quote, reimagine aging by compassionately connecting communities and supporting independence, unquote. And whereas the organization will celebrate its 75th anniversary on Thursday, May 15th, 2025 at the Medina Entertainment Center, and whereas Senior Community Services has consistently demonstrated extraordinary commitment to empowering older adults and supporting caregivers through innovative programs and compassionate services for the residents of Eden Prairie. Now, therefore, be it resolved. The City Council of Eden Prairie, Minnesota hereby proclaims our sincere recognition and celebration of Senior Community Services' 75 years of dedicated service to our community, honoring their profound impact on the lives of seniors and their families. We commend their unwavering dedication to ensuring every person can age with dignity, connection, and independence. Ronald A. Case, Mayor. On behalf of council members Kathy Nelson, Mark Freiberg, PG Narayan, and Lisa Toomey. If you want to come join me, all of you, that would be great. You're next to speak. No, that's
Well, thank you. I'm Deb Taylor. I'm the CEO of Senior Community Services. And I just want to say what a privilege it is to partner with the city of Eden Prairie. I mean, not only do you talk the talk of making it a community for all ages, but you walk that talk. And we're really privileged to be partnered with the city to serve its older residents and their families. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll just second that. I really appreciate the support that Eden Prairie provides. With our job, we're doing, maintenance around people's homes, and you think it's about like mowing a lawn or shoveling the snow, but really it's about that human connection. It's about the volunteers and the workers going out to people who are often isolated, providing some work, but providing some friendship and some companionship. And to me, when we talk about it in the office and someone calls in and is telling us, the difference that we made is really that human connection and just the time you've shared with that person. So it really means a lot that the city has partnered with us for so many years, and we just really want to say thank you. And we want to make sure you all come to our party on May 15th. So we did that on purpose because it's 5/15/25. So everybody here is invited. Please come join us. We're going to have food, some gambling you can do to raise money to give to us. But it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good DJ. So I really hope all of you can come sincerely. And anybody who's watching is also invited. So thank you very much.
Can one of you just quickly introduce others and just maybe why whoever is here tonight, why you're here?
Yeah, I think we could all introduce ourselves if that's okay. But John Burkhow, Director of the Home Program. I've been here a few times, and I've enjoyed the polar plunge, if you remember that. So
Yes, great, thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Adele Mehta, I'm the Director of Senior Outreach and Caregiver Services. I've been here a few times during the 48 years I've worked for the agency. And not all of you are seniors, but I bet a lot of you are caregivers of an older adult that you're looking out for. So that's our department. And again, we are just so grateful for the wonderful partnership we've shared over these years. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Colin Bramer, Development Coordinator for Senior Community Services. I'm here because my passion is fundraising for nonprofits, and I couldn't find one with a better office of workers and a better mission, really, because we are all going to get older, even if I'm not a senior myself at the moment.
Great, thank you. See, you had to speak.
I guess. I'm Emma Friend. I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator. I work for Senior Community Services because I'll be a senior too one day if I'm lucky. But really, it's just a great cause, and I love working with these people to help our community.
Great, thank you.
And I'm Gary Spears. I was here last meeting, I think, thanking you guys for the funds. And I was actually at Prairie Bluffs today, giving a presentation on frauds and scams, about 30 people. So,
Nice.
thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
John, I think I met you maybe 10 years ago when I was in Eden Prairie Community Foundation. At that time, or multiple times, you guys serve around how many households in Eden Prairie?
I think last year was around 60 people.
60, 50 or something. And overall in the Minnesota, how many households you serve?
Well, the home program within Senior Community Services, we served about 2,000 people last year.
Wow.
And Adele, through the Senior Outreach and Caregivers, probably around that same number.
Right, I think of note is agency-wide, we've served over 23,000 people last year.
Wow.
Nice.
Impressive. Just thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Continue doing great work.
Thank you.
Well, and to underscore the reality, this is, yes, definitely. This is one of those groups that gets served that we all eventually, again, if we're fortunate, but, well, we aspire to, but we all get to. So thank you for, on behalf of 4 of the 5 of us up here that have arrived at some technical legal status.
And the caregivers.
And the caregivers, yes, all the young folks up here as well. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
that.
much.
Yep. All right, council, let's go ahead and approve the agenda. Mr. Getchell or council members, any items that anybody wishes to add, particularly, I suppose, under council member reports? Anyone have any items to add tonight? If not, is there someone that would move to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, moving on to minutes. We have the minutes from March 18th, both the workshop and the city council meeting. Any corrections, edits that you wish to have changed on either minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve both?
Move to approve the following city council minutes. City council workshop held Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. City council meeting held Tuesday, March 18th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Moving to consent calendar, items A through J. Again, this is a list of items that generally don't need additional conversation or discussion. However, Councilmember Toomey did ask if she could have a moment to comment, I believe, on item D.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
So item number D is to adopt a resolution, approve joint powers agreement for additional Eden Prairie Police Department on-site social worker with Hennepin County Human Services and Public Health Department. And I just wanted to note, I don't want to pull it or anything, I just wanted to make a comment that just how much of an asset the social workers are. We already have one, so this will be the second one. And they are from they're from a grant from the Hennepin County and the state, correct?
The county.
Oh, the county, okay. And then, but they're just a great asset in the community. They they free up the officers' time. Police officers can focus on crime prevention and public safety, while social workers can handle non-criminal calls, especially those involving behavioral health or family issues. They help in building trust in the community trust. Residents are more likely to engage with a system that offers help rather than punishment. Social workers bring a compassionate service first approach that fosters trust. They also provide invaluable support for victims. They are great at providing help and youth and for family intervention. They offer early intervention in family and juvenile cases, and it can prevent long-term, involvement in the system. And also, they enhance crisis response. They're there. They're trained to de-escalate and mental health intervention, making them ideal in responding to crimes or to crises involving mental illness and substance use or trauma. So there's more. I have a list of like 10 things. I won't read every single one of them. But I'm just so happy that we have another one that's going to be starting in the city.
Thank you, Councilmember Toomey. That you are so right on. This is just such a wonderful addition to our police department, of which we already, I believe, have, if not the finest, certainly one of the finest police departments in the state, and we receive comments on that from our residents all the time. A lot of it is our culture, our police leadership. Thank you, Chief Sackett, and Mr. Getchell, because you are responsible ultimately for hiring the leadership across all the organization. And to our police officers, we have an officer sitting off to my right. But we just have an amazing police force already. This adds to that to have these specialized social workers working alongside of our phenomenal police officers. So thank you for underscoring that. All right, any other items on the consent calendar that any council member wishes to learn more about, pull for discussion? If not, is there a motion to approve items A through J on the consent calendar?
Move to approve items A through J on the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. All right, Mr. Getchell, we have one important resolution this evening, so I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, we don't have a public hearing, but we do have a new ordinance that we're bringing forward. As you know, as a city council, this has been discussed quite a bit in workshop as we lead to how the city of Eden Prairie will deal with and register cannabis retail businesses in Eden Prairie. As everyone knows, recreational cannabis was legalized by the state of Minnesota in 2023. And the state, and this is going to be covered a little bit in our community development director's brief presentation, the state of Minnesota does the regulation of this new program. The Office of Cannabis Management, OCM, not to be confused with the Office of the City Manager here, at the state level is responsible for licensing all these businesses. And have you probably read a lot in the media and the newspaper about the program since marijuana was legalized at the state level being put together. It's still being put together. There are still rules and regulations that are not finalized yet. But when it comes to the authority of local governments, we are allowed to license the business. We must allow the businesses. However, we can limit the number of retail registrations or businesses to no fewer than 1 per 12,500 people in our community. And we also have the right to place reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions on the business. So you could think about most of the zoning that we have in the city in terms of what type of use it is. We are allowed to regulate location, not necessarily number, but in this case, we have some say in that. And as you know as well, when it comes to time, place, and manner, and Julie is going to talk about this through your workshop discussions, you as a council have given us some direction that we're now putting in city code related to buffer requirements. So we're having some of that discussion as well, along with hours and the numbers that we would restrict to. So tonight would be the first reading of an ordinance relating to how we would register cannabis retail businesses in Eden Prairie. And Julie's gonna walk you through, actually walk anyone watching through, because you as a council directed this, how we came to where we are in terms of registering the businesses in Eden Prairie.
Great, thank you. Julie.
Mayor, members of the council, I have a few slides that I'd like to share with you and the public that is tuning into our meeting this evening. As we start this conversation, I want to start out by giving an overview of some of the licenses that the state will issue once that Office of Cannabis Management is up and running. As Mr. Getchell mentioned, they are still in the process of making their rules, and they have not begun to issue licenses yet, but we do expect that to begin yet in 2025, probably in the next few months, which is why we're in front of you this evening with this draft ordinance for your consideration. So there are 16 types of cannabis licenses that OCM will be able to issue beginning in 2025. And I won't read through the exhaustive list on your screen, but it essentially covers cannabis from the point at which it is planted until through harvesting, through production into a manufactured outcome, whether that is edible, whether that is flour, whether that is some other type of product that can be purchased. And so cities do have the authority to put in place some regulations, even though the vast majority of the regulations lay with the state. So some of those local control measures that we have included in the draft ordinance for your consideration this evening is capping the number of retailers at 1 per 12,500 residents. In Eden Prairie's situation, that would be 5 retail establishments within our borders. Also putting in place some buffer requirements. So the ordinance would require a 1,000-foot buffer from any K through 12 school within the city, as well as a 200-foot buffer between cannabis retail establishments. Our zoning ordinance already addresses how uses can be distributed throughout the city. So when you look back at these variety of different licenses that can be issued for cultivator, retailer, wholesaler, there is not a need for us to amend our zoning ordinance because all of those uses are already addressed, whether it be allowed in a commercial district or an industrial district through manufacturing, or production, or in the rural area for cultivation, things of that sort. So the ordinance before you this evening really focuses on the retail registration process. Switching gears a little bit back to the 1,000-foot buffer required from schools, I wanted to provide a little bit of a visual. On this map, the blue parcels indicate the locations of K through 12 schools within the city. The red parcels indicate properties that are zoned for commercial or retail purposes. The purple parcels indicate properties that are zoned industrial but allow a certain percentage of their floor area to be used for retail. So in theory, a cannabis retail business could operate on any of those red or purple parcels, with the exception of those that are intersected by that orange crosshatch circle that surrounds each of the public schools, or excuse me, the K through 12 schools. So about 70 of the 418 total properties that would permit retail would be impacted by that buffer, which is 15% of the eligible properties. And when you break that down into those that are zoned commercial, that's about 2% of all the commercial properties in the city. And for industrial, it's about 25% of all of the industrial. And keep in mind, on those industrial properties, only a portion of their floor area would allow for retail. There are some other provisions as well that are addressed in the ordinance. It establishes the retailer registration, compliance, and enforcement requirements, which will largely be handled through the police department. And those really mirror the alcohol and tobacco compliance checks that we already have systems in place for. Hours of operation are established from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And right now, the city does have a THC code that addresses those types of materials, but once the Office of Cannabis Management is up and running, they will be handling all of that overview, and so we would have the ability then to repeal our edible THC ordinance because the state will then be responsible for that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, as I'm sure Chief Sackett would be happy to as well.
Yeah, this, again, what you reported out is a reflection of what the 5 of us had not voted on, but directed, at least in our consensus conversation at a workshop. So it shouldn't be new to us. I just had a question that I don't recall if I asked during the workshop or not, but when these types of ordinances get enacted, and then let's say some type of a school comes about after the fact, probably not a public school, but let's say some sort of private school, church school possibly, something gets created after the fact, and a couple of these establishments that sell marijuana have already purchased property and they exist. What happens in that, in terms of grandfathering or illegality? What happens in that scenario?
Mayor, members of the council, the city code or the ordinance before you would provide language that addresses that situation, saying the buffer applies to situations where the school already exists, not where the school comes afterwards.
Got it. Council, I think that was the only question I had. Is there anything else you want to question or add or comment? Okay. We'll go ahead and take a vote in just a moment. I'll have you make a motion. I just wanted to add for the public, anyone here tonight or listening in, if you've been reading or listening to NPR or something about the conversations about this issue over the last couple of years, it can get complicated, and we have people in our own city who are on opposite sides of what maybe they individually wanted to occur. There are people that, you know, think the city should maybe utilize a couple of the 5 potential selling locations and actualize that, but we can't. We'd have to allow 5 beyond. So even if we were to get into the business, there's still that 5 additional beyond that. But the point being that some people think the city should be in the business. Some people think we should just kind of, from a legality standpoint or a regulatory standpoint, stay out of it completely, let places, you know, rise up wherever they want to. If all 5 wanted to cluster at the mall, let them. And so we did talk quite a bit about this at workshop. We felt that what we've arrived at for now, meaning it's dynamic and it can change as years go by, but we think it's a good compromise and a good way to begin to get into this issue, knowing that we didn't create it, the legislature did, and the legislature directed us in many ways that tied our hands. So we think this is the best that we could come up with for now. As we go through the years to come, I don't doubt the legislature might begin to tweak parts of this and look at this as everybody begins to watch how it gets implemented. But I think for now, we've arrived at a really reasonable and thoughtful way to address this. Okay, council, anything else, or are we ready to make a motion? How about somebody to go ahead and make the motion to approve the reading of this ordinance?
I'll approve the first reading of an ordinance amending City Code Chapter 5 by adopting a new Section 5.81 relating to cannabis retail businesses.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, passes, I believe passed 5-0. I think I heard everyone. All right. So no reports of count, whoop, yes, I have to go back. I skipped the payment of claims. So council, again, payment of claims are expenditures, checks that, payments that get made between the last meeting and tonight. So any items, it's pages long that expenditures that you wish to question or find out more about. If not, is there a motion to approve the payment of claims?
I'll move to approve the payment of claims as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Freiberg,
Aye.
Councilmember Narayan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson,
Aye.
Councilmember Toomey,
Aye.
Mayor Case.
Aye. Mr. Getchell, is there anything else to come before the council this evening?
There's not.
I have one item.
Council, is there anything else to come before the council this evening?
I have one item.
Councilmember Narayanan has something.
Councilmember Narayan.
So today is April 1st.
So it
and
is.
It's a very important day for one of our council members and especially our mayor. So those of you at home, please sing happy birthday to Mayor Case. All of us are not that good singers, so we decided not to do that.
Thank you. I
Not
think that's
to
a good
that.
idea.
But we want to say happy birthday, Ron.
Thank you. That's very, very kind of you. You can imagine, as a teacher, and many of you know I'm a retired sixth grade teacher. I taught third, fifth, and sixth, mostly sixth grade. Had a couple students of council members sitting up here that I guess luckily, I don't know if good or bad, April 1st often fell during spring break. So I was not often in the classroom with my students for my birthday. But those few years that I was, you can imagine how much fun they had with April Fool's jokes. And I've grown up my entire life, as you can also imagine, being the recipient of April Fool's jokes. So it is
So this is not an April Fool's joke, this is real.
This one's not an April Fool's joke. It's actually my birthday. And just as a fun little side, I have one sibling, an older sister, 2 years older. Her birthday is also April 1st, so I gave her a call tonight to wish her happy birthday as well. I think I probably wrecked, she's 2 years older, so I probably wrecked her birthday forever. You know, at least growing up, I invaded in on her time, so. Thank you, Councilmember Narayan. Oh, you have more?
Yeah. I just want to say a move to adjourn the city council meeting
Oh,
tonight.
all right. I'll take you up on that. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion about tonight's meeting or this particular motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed. This meeting on April 1st, 2025 is adjourned.